Hey, it's Soleil, and this is episode 630 of the Orange Pill Investor. And today I'm quoting the immortal words of Treetrunks from Adventure Time. She was talking to the Ice King, and she had had just about enough of his shit, which I guess makes Sailor the Ice King of this situation. And the frustrating part about it is. Yeah, that's the frustrating part, all right, motherfucker. Um, yeah, so I bought a brand new laptop because I was getting serious with the damn live streaming and the True North and all that bullshit. I spent a pretty penny on some quality equipment, and it's got an overheating problem. I've already sent it back. There was like a not exactly a recall, but there was a problem that they were aware of, and apparently it's still a thing. Let me see if I can. Is it MSI? MSI. This thing is like got some serious power, and I'm gonna have to frickin' turn the performance down. That's pretty pathetic. User scenario. Let's do. Let me see what I have this set for. Yeah, the most frustrating thing was pretty perfect fucking timing, if I do say so myself. What's up, fellas? What's up, Emperor? Let's think. It's a frustrating part. Yes, it did. Yeah. Awkward. What's up, Snowy? No, you didn't miss anything. All right, so I get. Let's let this thing think on the other side. Who knows what's gonna happen if I turn this down to fucking. I don't even think I have it on like extreme performance. All right, let's reshare. Thanks for confirming. All right, so what was I talking about? Yeah. So the most frustrating part about the the sailor stuff is when when he or anyone says, "Oh yeah, my bad, I fucked up." People are quick to forgive and forget. Like when I mean back in the day, I mean they used to drag Sailor because he said Bitcoin was I don't remember exactly if he said it was going to zero, but it was like, ah, this is a fad, or this isn't going to catch on, or you know, he just didn't believe in it. And then of course, then he became orange pilled, maxi, 20 hours of frickin' What Is Money Sailor Series podcast on Robert Breedlove's channel, and now he's like the biggest Giga Chad stacker on the planet. But people ribbed him good naturedly for that, right? If you just say, "Oh, my bad," people will be like, "Okay, come here, buddy. Put you in a headlock, give you a noogie, and it's all good, right? Crack open a beer. Let's fucking go." But you know, when they came out the MNAV guidance, I was like, "Oh, this is a bad idea. This is like giving way too much information to the shorts." Right? You got to have some adversarial thinking out there, and they were just like being so transparent. They were like kind of weaponizing the enemy. And within 2 weeks, they were like, "Never mind, we'll sell we'll sell shares at any MNEV we damn well please." And he got dragged for that, but you know, it was probably for the best. And you kind of almost have to like give them credit for pivoting on them and like realizing that they made a mistake. And so that's kind of the problem with them painting themselves into a corner with these never do this, always do that language, because now you're like trying to explain yourself. And when myself and others were dragging him for retweeting shitcoin DeFi scams, aka Ethereum yield coins, uh, you know, then he tried to explain that away as, well, you know, a retweet is not an endorsement. You know, I'll specifically say when it's an endorsement or not. Like I'll say so. Like, no, that's not how it works. You retweet something that you like when you post something that's fire and somebody retweets it, you don't wonder, oh, I wonder if they liked it. I wonder if they were endorsing that. Like, no. If you retweet something and you don't endorse it, you have to specifically come out and say, I'm, you know, like whatever the criticism is, because people assume that a retweet is like a thumbs up. It was better than a thumbs up. It's so good, it's worth sharing with your audience. So that was bullshit. And so, like, it's just making it harder. Like, the thesis hasn't changed. I have no problems, even with a little bit of dilution here and there, because I'm assuming it's going to qualify for more accretion later. Like, I'm totally fine with all that, but it just kind of make you wonder, like, okay, there's there's no reason other than pride or ego to just not just come out and say like, oh, my bad, I said this shit, and by the way, we're changing it. Like, I mean, they did that on all of their official filings, and if you listen to their earnings calls, they were hinting at, hey, you know, we can sell our Bitcoin. Um, but then in Prague, he comes right out and says, well, I never said we'd never sell all Bitcoin. I told you not to sell your Bitcoin. It was just fucking complete bullshit. We heard you every single time you said it. You said, you know, strategy is going to buy and hodl and never sell. And there's just like, if you want to give him a pass, to say that like he's had a million interviews and can't remember exactly what he said in every single one of them, and maybe he forgot that he said that. Fine, but the internet's not going to fucking forget, and the internet is, as far as I can tell, is already putting together a nice collage of all of the times you said you'd never sell. So, um, you don't have to, you don't have to like feel bad about it. Just come out and say, yeah, that's what I said, but I was wrong. Like that, people will respect that a little bit more. And and you could just stop retweeting fucking DeFi scams. I don't care how much stretch they buy. Um, Someone's gonna get wrecked. It's not secure. It's not Bitcoin. It's gonna get hacked. People are gonna get fucked, and you'll probably be able to get weasel out of the lawsuits because of the lawyer speak of a retweet is not an endorsement. Okay, fine. That'll keep you out of, maybe keep you from getting a guilty verdict in court when people start suing your ass. But like, people know, like, you're going to be convicted in the court of public opinion. And if the sentiment folks are right about the MNAV, the only thing that matters is the court of public opinion. What people think of the stock, what people think of you, what people think of your opinion. And so, as well, I almost said as a large shareholder, I'm not a large shareholder compared to the whales, but there's a large percentage of my portfolio and my my family's future in this company. So stop making it harder for me to frickin' advocate on the company's behalf. It's kind of pisses me off. And it does create a little bit of doubt too. It's like, well, maybe people are right to criticize, what they're doing. Like maybe there is a problem with the strategy. Like if they can't just come out and tell you the truth about every little thing, then maybe there is something to worry about. It's almost kind of like when I used to argue with fuckers on Facebook about all kinds of politics and shit before I left that dumpster fire of an app. And it was like, I never thought I needed an AR-15 until the government told me I might not be able to have one. Right? As soon as you start telling me I can't have something, I was like, oh well, I'm starting to get a little suspicious. I might head to go shopping. So once you start losing your credibility, it makes people start wondering about other stuff. So with that being said, we'll see what I got to do today with my rolls. Yeah, what's up, Pepper? Yeah, I see. Pepper says, I thought it was silly too, especially when they've already sold in 2022. Yeah, exactly. What's up, Pete? Good morning. Wifey says, nice song choice this morning. Appreciate it. It fit perfectly with the topic. The next in line I've already used on one of my live streams, which is Henry Rollins Band's got a song called Liar, but that one has a totally different vibe to it. All right, so with that being said, let's see what kind of position the price action is putting my covered calls in. I sold the 120 for 533. That makes my break even 125.33, and we're just under that. So technically, I squeezed a few cents out of this, right? Basically, broke even on it. And so, when I first thought I was going to be doing this, it was like 128 and climbing, and I thought, well, I might have to pay to roll this, and I might have to either let some shares get called away or just hedge them out. There's a couple of different ways I could hedge them out. Maybe not fully. Like if I truly wanted to hedge them, I'd do something like I think Bitcoin probably crashes in August. Let me see if I could do it here. It would be like buy a put. Whoops, wrong side. Sell a call, buy a put. And this would be like 100 delta short. The position would be completely hedged out as far as the delta is concerned. There's probably a little bit of theta in here, and it wouldn't quite give me the 12,400. But I basically get 10 grand in cash. And so that would be kind of important to me because I don't want the timer on my ownership of these shares to expire. I don't want to have to buy the shares necessarily back in, but I can hedge out the price action to do that. The main reason why this is important is there are rules that say that you have to hold a certain amount of a stock and for a certain period of time in order to be able to submit a shareholder, is it a shareholder question for their annual, whatever it is, annual shareholder question event, maybe kind of thing. Anyway, there's SEC rules around it. And so if there was something that was very important to me, like I wanted to do it this year for the spam question and get strategy on record for what their position is on the protocol, whether they are instructing their custodians to run core v30 or not. And I missed the deadline to submit that shareholder question. They can weasel out of that question too if they think, you have to get it exactly right. And the other thing is that it might be easier to get your questions answered by just writing to them, right? Just write them a letter and say, hey, I'm a concerned shareholder. I want to know what your position is on this. It lets them potentially answer that question without the friction of like the official, rigmarole of and kind of like, I don't want to say it's ruffling their feathers or whatever, but there's ways to escalate slowly or in a friendly way before like really cornering people and in that way. So, but I definitely do want to keep that ability in my toolbox. So I wouldn't necessarily want to sell like 100% of my stash. If I wanted to basically hedge this out, to get the full amount, I'd probably have to go out farther, which I could potentially kick the can down the road on the taxes. The taxes would be interesting as well because I don't think you pay taxes on these options contracts until when you collect premium. I don't think you pay taxes immediately. I think you pay taxes when you close it, which means if I close this, how'd that work? If I hedge this out and then strategy is higher in a couple of years, I'd lose money on the option. I'd probably make money on the shares. I'd make money on the shares, and then the profit and the loss would probably cancel each other out, and it wouldn't really even matter. Yeah, that's probably how it would work. All right, so let's just try it. If I did it all the way out here, actually, it's not that much more. Wonder what, oh, probably because I'm choosing the 25 strike. Yeah, in order to get the full amount, I'd have to go like to the $5 strike or something. Yeah. The reason why this is a problem, especially short dated like this, there's no extrinsic value in this damn thing. There's like $1 over 70 days. And someone could easily just exercise this call and call away my shares anyway. So this is a little bit of a dangerous proposition, kind of like walking a tightrope of like, what call can I get away with selling? And like buying the put is kind of a formality. Like it's only $200 and it gets you to 100 delta. But probably don't even need to buy the put unless you just want that extra little bit of downside protection on it. But this is 90 delta. This would hedge out most of the position and give me like 5 grand to play with. And if Bitcoin crashes to 50, strategy crashes, sub 100, I might be able to, buy this contract back for half price or whatever, and then I'd be full long again. So that is an option. But since this is basically just break even, I think I'm just going to roll these for like same strike, teeny tiny credit. It's still like 2.5% of the underlying's price in a week. If I roll to the 124, I get closer to 4% of the underlying price, but it would be for like break even. I wouldn't really be able to collect much of a credit. And I kind of feel like any rally in the next 2 months is a fake out. So I think there are a ton of incentives for Bitcoin to crash, for the whole global macroeconomic market to crash, and really justify some heavy money printing. Happy to be wrong, but that's pretty much the game I'm playing. I think it filled. Yep. All right, so markets close next Friday, so that's why it's the June 18th strikes. This one's only been on for a day. I'm tempted to add a cash secured put though, because even if strategy does crash to 80, like selling the 100 strike, only have to put up about twice the buying power as the credit. That kind of doesn't hurt my feelings at all. But you know what? Maybe I'll just wait. So that's giving me 3,800 bucks to play with, and I guess I could long Tesla with some of that. But if they just dump the whole thing, I mean, I guess I could dollar cost average into these. What are these worth? Oh god, any more shit. The bid ask spread is terrible too. Yeah, that's bad. All right, I'll probably just be plowing it all into SATA. Which, even if Bitcoin crashes, I mean, I'm guessing the prefs don't drop below 90 bucks a share, which I can handle. I can handle that amount of volatility for now. All right, Cypher, I added a few positions. I don't feel the need to like plow into any more of these. Strive, I've been trying to add some positions here and there as well. Might accept assignment here in 20 days, unless I can roll out for a credit. We'll see. Sold the 12. Yeah, plenty of time left on that one as well. All right, so I've got 3,800 bucks to spend, and I'm just gonna plow some dry powder into, was it 38 shares? What's that gonna cost me? 37.77. I think I can get 39. Not 389. It's gonna cost me 38.76. Booyah. If I bought stretch it would be way more capital efficient. I would have been able to buy twice as many shares. But the interest rate on SATA is a little better. It's daily, and so far, you know, Strive isn't retweeting DeFi scams. So hopefully they'll stay on track. The funny thing is, my wife's account that I started managing, she quit her job, took her money out of her whatever, her retirement, and I started or did she take? I can't remember if she cashed it out. Anyway, I started managing it, and it's like half of my account, and she's made just as much money as I have because I've been managing hers much more cautiously. So, not tons of poor man's covered calls that have gotten wrecked all year long and, shit like that. So that's kind of hilarious. Our P&Ls are exactly the same, but her account is like half the size of mine. It's kind of a reminder to treat yourself as well as you treat others. So what's up, Snowy? What are your thoughts on how strategy navigates which stakeholders to prioritize during this bear market? Seems like whichever lever they pull, sell Bitcoin, sell common, raise cash, etc., someone wins, but someone also loses. How does the business model sustain itself in prolonged bear? Well, I guess it depends on how long you define a prolonged bear. If prolonged bear lasts 5 years, the company just dies. Like it can't it can't withstand an entire Bitcoin cycle. Like if Bitcoin stayed down certainly for 10 years, it would break. If Bitcoin stayed in a bear for that long. I kind of feel like we've been in a muted bull market because of the controversy over spam, the spam war. Without core, the core devs kind of going off the rails, and basically allowing spammers to freely attack the network. Maybe we could have gotten 250K, but that's just my personal suspicion. But to answer your question, they've hung their hat on the prefs. So the prefs is how they buy Bitcoin. If the prefs don't succeed, the common fails. There's no way that the prefs can fail and the common succeeds. So they have basically hitched their wagon to the prefs. That's why they sold common to build the cash reserve, and that's why they sold a few Bitcoins so that they could get better positioning in the rating agencies and potentially for S&P 500 inclusion. And all of those things are all concentrated around pref success. They have to make the prefs work, or none of it works. I mean, I guess they could go back to just doing convertible bonds again, but they've already I think they've already called them toxic debt. I mean, it was fine. It was accretive, but it would be backsliding, and I think the luster of them being innovative with these products would be over. So in a bull and a bear, I don't really think the market matters. They have to kind of subordinate the common to the success of the prefs. And common shareholders have to just be fine with that. Because if you accept that the only way that they can buy Bitcoin is if the prefs are successful, then you have to accept being, you're literally, quite literally, lower in the stack, right? You got convertible bonds at the top. You got Strife after that. You got, can't remember if Strike is next. I think it's SRC might be above Strike and below Strife. It doesn't really matter. The point is, all of the prefs are below the convertible bonds, and the common is at the very bottom in the case of a liquidation. So if you already understand where you are in the totem in the totem pole, then you understand that those have to be successful in order for the common to be successful. And I think it's clear the decisions that they're making. Well, every good decision that you make for the prefs is arguably in the interest of the common, because if they fail, the whole thing fails. But, it's the whole thing. Do you believe that the common has to endure the volatility in order to get the difference between the yield on the prefs and Bitcoin's CAGR? That's the story that we were sold. And if you don't believe that, then I guess the thesis would be invalidated. Buffalo says strategy has pretty much said they don't care about the convert holders beyond their contractual obligation. Yep, that's what I understand as well. Then you're left with pref holders, common holders, Bitcoin holders. Strategy is going to be a large net accumulator of Bitcoin, so Bitcoin holders should be happy. The pref holders should be happy when their divs are getting paid and the company has good credit quality. Yeah, and it's just gonna, it's gonna take a little bit more time to prove that they can make this work through the whole bear cycles. And strategy holders need the preferred holders to be happy for business to be successful. So we are going to take the downside while strategy reinvests in getting pref holders happy in hopes for the upside. Yeah, that's exactly the way I understand it as well. Now, the only bear, Bitcoin bear, I'm sorry, not Bitcoin bear, but like Bitcoin maxi strategy bear position, I think you can make is that, okay, well, if Saylor has to jump through all these hurdles in order to get the fiat system to recognize and appreciate the prefs, then does that mean he's subordinate to them and he's not really able to lead his company the way that he should or could, and that whoever the people who control all the strings, like, does that mean that they can lead him around by the nose, and that the Bitcoin or the company is captured, and that Bitcoin on the balance sheet didn't really liberate them from the fiat control system in the way that we might hope. That nagging thought kind of pulls at me every once in a while. All right, the IRA. This has only been on for 8 days, but it's less than half of what I sold it for. And it's out of the money. Let's see if I can roll this just a week for a small credit. All right, why not? SATA, I'll come back to that one. Same deal here. Sold it for $500. It's worth 4, so I'm pocketing the $100 per contract. And I'm just gonna go same strikes. No insta-fill. Come on. I gotta hurry up and finish trading before the goddamn laptop freezes up on me again. I think it was just yesterday or the day before that it froze up on me. And the last thing people heard before it disconnected was fuck me. Oh boy. All right. I could just hedge this thing out too. Or not even hedge it, just close it. Yeah. Leverage be gone, say. The 1080s are worth nothing. It doesn't even make sense to try to get $100 off of this. I'll just let it die on the vine. This debit spread still has a chance though to be above 260 in December. That's possible. That's easily possible. All right, Strive. I was peeling off all of my poor man's covered calls on strategy in the IRA and um, adding Strive positions, and that has continued. So let's see, the 1450 basically broke even on this one. Let's roll next week. Same strikes. See if I can get a fill here. Of course not. That's interesting. I have 11 contracts on Strive and I have 11 contracts on strategy, but they're an order of magnitude in difference price. The cash secured puts, I will just let these assign. If they do, I can literally keep like 1.5% of the underlying if I hold on to this contract and let it expire for 4 more hours. So 1% in 4 hours is a pretty good deal. There's it's like a ton of extrinsic value left in this damn thing. So Monday morning, maybe I'll have 1,600 shares, or maybe this will expire worthless. Just depends on what the price does. Or you know what? I'm not going to do anything different. I'm just going to sell at the money. So I could just roll this. Let's just roll it same strikes. $50 credit. That's like 3% of the underlying. Nothing else expiring today. All right, rolled everything out to next Thursday. And I got a few cash secured puts that are 42 days expiration as well. All right, how much cash did I collect? I got $2,500. Really? So same. Let's buy 26 shares. No. All right, I think I like that. This is the smallest account and it has like the most different types of positions. Kind of stupid. Plenty of time, plenty of extrinsic. This is just a long term. Plenty of extrinsic value left. All right, here's where the main premium is being collected. 15. I'm trying to avoid assignment in these positions. So I think I should probably close this and stop doing the weeklies, but I really like the premium on the weeklies. Yeah, I'm gonna roll. All right, I just gotta close them. All right, let's go out 42 DTE. Not, well, I think we could easily see $12 a share. So let's see if I can get a fill here. Oh, two of them. All right. Oh, wow. I think I could have gotten way more for that. The liquidity on that one was pretty bad. So I don't know if I sold myself short there. That's unfortunate. That brought my maintenance excess up quite a bit. So let's buy some more SATA, like 7. Keep enough maintenance excess here to not be like getting a margin call every other day. I think that is good. The 5K account. $14 call. Expiring today. Just going to roll it to the exact same strike. 0.5857. No fill. Geez, not even. The bass spread is pathetic here. Why is that? Alrighty. 0.45. 42. 40. That's pretty bad. What's the liquidity at the 14 and a half? It's better. Okay, so they just don't like the 14. All right. I thought for sure that one would fill. If this doesn't fill, I'm gonna give up. There we go. Thank God. All right, so that's the only one that I had was expiring today. Everything else I can deal with in 2 weeks. This $14 call is probably, yeah, that one's still fine. All right, I think I had razor thin buying power last week. So yeah, I just have $30 in buying power. Nothing I can do with that. I got little bit of dry powder here, 500 bucks worth of SATA, but that's not really enough to open up a new contract. So we are all done. Oh, thanks for the reminder. Today's the last day to buy stretch before the ex dividend. What about for the dailies on? Well, I guess the dailies on SATA is just whatever day you buy, you're just gonna start getting it. Wait, stretch. I thought stretch. Really? That's a bummer. So they're about to pay the dividend. You would think the buying pressure would be the heaviest it's going to be for the whole month, right? And yeah, ex dividend 615. So I guess I'll get a dividend here on my stretch shares. But my cost basis is 99 bucks. They'll probably have to I don't know, they'll probably have to raise the dividend again. See, Buffalo says I think there's too much strategy FUD out there. Yeah, and it's going to get worse because if Bitcoin continues to dump, then strategy is going to dump along with it, and just the bears are just going to be like completely unopposed. There's going to be tap dancing on strategy's misfortune. All right, I think we're good to go. I uh, I personally haven't changed my opinion long term. I think they win and all of that good stuff, but it would be nice if the company, if the face of the company could stop making it harder for me to defend. All right.